Hi, I am Kendall Rawls, Director of Development with the Rawls Group Business Succession Planners, here to welcome you to How to Create Control Over Your Future series. Seasonality, inflation, politics, people, and technology are a few of the many headwinds impacting fuel dealers, propane marketers, wholesalers, and service contractors in the energy space. We are often asked, how can we create predictable revenues in an industry influenced by so many threats? In this episode, Doug Woosnam, Managing Director with Cetane Associates, Clayton Latiolais, a succession planner with the Rawls Group, Marty Kirshner, partner with Gray, and our very own succession planner, Champ Rawls, discusses strategies to take control of the ebbs and flows of your business.
The first thing that an owner needs to do is to create an operational budget so that they can measure what they're doing. It's surprising to me how few businesses have a true budget, something in which they can measure their current performance against their past performance, against what they need to be doing. So because our business is so impacted by weather and outside influences, there's a lack of preparation that, okay, we're in the third week of the month, we're down 20% on degree days, what now? And again, it's having a budget, managing your performance to that budget.
Going along with that, Doug, it's from my past experience in working in operations, using policies, procedures, standard operating procedures to make sure that we're being as efficient as we can, helps track along with that budget. So you have a budget in place, you want to stick to it, it'll help you weather through the storm, and also using historical data to plan your operations. For instance, where I've worked in the past, we were extremely influenced by historical weather patterns. So making sure that we're prepped for those downturns, and again, not creating any distractions by having any divergence in our operations, by making sure our employees understand what are our operating procedures and sticking to that really keeps us focused and ensuring that we don't get any huge divergences in our operations and creating distractions where we already have a downturn.
Right. And I think just staying on the top of budgeting, one of the tools that I always recommend dealers in this industry use is a break-even analysis, so they know exactly how many gallons they need to sell to break even, and it goes along with the budget, or at what margin do they need to make in order to break even, so they know that in a month where their gallons are short, maybe they need to ratchet up that margin to the extent that they can. But most importantly, what I recommend to clients, and a lot of them are doing it now to insulate themselves from the seasonality, is just diversification, having other products and services that you can do outside of the winter, especially in the summertime, to offset the seasonality of the revenues. Many companies already do HVAC, so a lot of that work is done in the summer, but depending on the nature of that and what you do, there's other things that we've seen a lot of companies adopt, whether it be buying a landscaping company. A lot of companies now doing these home energy audit, like audit efficiencies, pest control, concrete, just other things that are not tied to the weather that can help insulate you for when the degree days aren't there, or the gallons aren't there, or the margin isn't there because prices have gone up.
And I think just to put a button on top of that one is really what you were saying there struck me with sit down and do a strategic planning session. It is where can we fill in the gaps during a seasonal or a technical issue or a political issue. Figure out, is landscaping something that we can do? Are those outside businesses, can we fit them into our current footprint? And really sitting down and having a strategic planning session, which might sound so boring, but can allow you to understand the budget and how you can push it during the ups and downs of any type of weather, politics, technical disruption.
I'd like to just add that the factors that go into creating a budget are sometimes missed, as in, how many drivers do I need? Well, how do you determine that? You determine that by what your delivery efficiencies are. How many gallons per hour per mile per stop can you deliver? How many service calls can you do in a day? How many installations? And that then drives what your manpower needs are, which in our businesses, next to our product cost, are our greatest single expense. And there's not enough appreciation or understanding of what goes into developing a budget that is truly going to maximize your opportunities and your profits.
I think Doug is spot on, because especially now in times where prices have shot up and inflation is high, budgeting has become more important than ever. And not even just budgeting, your P&L, but cash flow forecasting, so you understand what your cash needs are from one week to the next. We have a lot of companies right now that are just sitting out on their line of credit or having conversations with their bank about increasing their line. But who knows when that price spike is going to stop, when it's going to come down. And so, I think we're in an industry where the average company is a smaller company, probably less than 20 employees, not a sophisticated finance function. So you really need to reach out to the experts and the people that understand, forecasting and budgeting, to make sure that you have that plan in place, so that you have something to benchmark against as you go throughout the year, because you don't want to wake up one day and just have no cash in the bank and nothing to go buy a new product with, because then you have nothing to sell.
Working on your business and leaning on expert advisory guidance allows you to create more control over the future you envision. By proactively addressing possible, probable, and potential issues, you create many options at your fingertips. Do you have a question you want to discuss with an expert? Feel free to reach out directly to Doug, Clayton, Marty, or Champ at the email addresses listed on the screen. This is only one out of our 7-episode series focused on creating control over your future. Keep listening to the series now or come back for more. Each topic featured may want you to learn something new. Creating control over your future is a part of the Rawls Group's Advancing Your Business, People, and Legacy conversation series.